Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reported tonight, Ijoma Oyato.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, President Jonathan visits scene of Wednesday's bomb blast in Abuja, vows to bring perpetrators to justice. Victims of the Abuja bomb attack recount their experiences, ask federal government to address insecurity challenge. Police prevent another bomb blast in Kano, defuse explosive device discovered on the premises of a mosque. And Ukraine's president hails trade pact with European Union as historic amid criticism from Russia.
On Business News tonight, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry asked the Central Bank of Nigeria to pay attention to the rising inflation rate.
And on sports news tonight, dust settles over the Super Eagles' bonus row. Team shifts focus to game against France at the 2014 World Cup.
I'm Linda Kibe, and from Abuja, early morning road ghastly accident along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway claims the lives of 6 people.
The president has vowed to intensify the fight against the insurgency in the country and ensure it's brought to an end soon. President Goodluck Jonathan, who visited the scene of Wednesday's bomb blast in Abuja earlier in the day, described the act as regrettable and painful and promised that those who carried out the bombings and their sponsors will be brought to book. He was also at the Maitama District Hospital, where the wounded are receiving treatment. Our State House correspondent Chukuma Onekwuse reports.
The president, visibly disturbed, was at the Emab Plaza in Wuse 2, where the bomb blast killed 21 Nigerians and left many others wounded. He was there in the company of the Minister of Health and other government officials. They spent some time inspecting the scene of the blast. Away from the Emab Plaza, the president also was at the Maitama District Hospital, where victims of the bomb blast were taken to. The chief medical director of the hospital took him round as he sympathized with the wounded. He described what is happening in the country as a passing phase and promised to bring those responsible to book.
We share the pains of the people that have been directly affected, the pains of their families, but we'll surely pass through this ugly phase of our history. The perpetrators of this, people who are directly involved and those who sponsored them, surely be brought to book.
The president also urged Nigerians to bear with security agents who are working hard to ensure that terror is brought to an end.
Instead of shouting and insulting the security operatives, let's give them maximum cooperation, give them relevant information. All countries that face terror suffer the same things, but the citizens give maximum cooperation to the security operatives and help to contain and control. Surely we'll get over this.
President Jonathan wonders why anyone will be planning to kill at a time patriotic Nigerians are thinking of nation building, and appealed to Nigerians to bear the inconveniences caused them at this dark moment. Chukuma Onwekusi, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, some survivors of Wednesday's explosion in Abuja have been recounting their experiences as they undergo treatment in various hospitals. And some of the victims appealed to the federal government to urgently address the issue of insecurity in the country.
From the General Hospital in Maitama to Wuse and the National Hospital, the story is the same. Victims of Wednesday's explosion in Abuja groan in pains. The Minister of Health, who visited the victims at the various hospitals, pledged that government will provide quality health care for the survivors.
I would have just wished that more people did not die at the site. Because obviously this hospital was able to save virtually all the people that were brought here alive. So my wish would have been that when this kind of incident happens, that people can still survive to be able to be brought to the hospital. But I'm impressed with how the victims were taken care of here.
Some of the survivors receiving treatment at the various hospitals narrated their ordeal of that Black Wednesday.
A lady came to buy a chaka from me at the desk. So he gave me 500 naira. I gave her, we wanted to buy the chaka at 100 naira. So I went to look for a change. Before I come back, the bomb already exploded. So she died at my desk.
If this continue like this, nobody is safe. Because the way things are going is very, very, very bad. Government should do something seriously.
Another survivor who was amputated as a result of the blast narrates the incident just as her husband and the orthopedic surgeon explain the reason behind the amputation.
We lay along the road selling banana in front of Emma Plaza. In the evening time, maybe around 2-4. Next thing we just hear boo.
This is the best solution. If I can sign, she will be alive because they want to cut this leg. If I no sign, she will die. So I later take the decision, pray, sign this thing. As I sign, the doctors then take him to theater. They start their job there.
Immediately, she was brought in here, almost in shock. She has lost quite a lot of blood. Immediately, she was reviewed, and a decision was taken to take her immediately to the hospital, to the theater. And the finding was that a very massive metal object, a missile, has gone through the left thigh, and it transected the blood vessels, and it fractured the femur in pieces, as well as lacerated the muscles.
While several other persons have been discharged from the different hospitals in Abuja, the Minister of Health was optimistic that there will be no increase in the death toll recorded from the blast, which currently stands at 21.
Well, the minister did give some more statistics. That's the Minister of Health, Professor Onyebuchi Chukwu. He said a total of 24 persons died in the bomb blast at the EMAB shopping plaza in Abuja. He also said 20 of the victims died before they got to hospital, while 4 died shortly after arrival. He explained that one of the 4 victims died in Maitama District Hospital, while the other 3 died in the National Hospital, also in Abuja. He also added that 27 patients are currently receiving treatment in various hospitals in the nation's capital, while the others have been discharged and are being treated as outpatients. We're going to stay with security issues, and what may have resulted in another tragedy in Kano, northwest Nigeria, was today averted after an improvised explosive device was discovered in a mosque in the city. Addressing a news conference on the incident, the police commissioner in Kano, Mr. Aderinle Shinaba, says that the IED was concealed in a Volkswagen car parked beside the mosque. Mr. Shinaba says although no arrest has been made, all the IEDs in the vehicle were successfully defused. Now, this comes about a week after the attack on the Kano State School of Hygiene that killed 8 people.
An information that we should come and see a vehicle that has been parked in the vicinity of a Jumat praying ground. Today being Friday, and these things are primed to explode when the Jumat prayer is going on. What we have discovered is what you have seen here. They are cylinders that are of high caliber such that can ruin a whole neighborhood, that can ruin and destroy a whole village. As you can see on the ground, the caliber of improvised explosive devices recovered, which are 13 in number. And the vehicle you are seeing just here is the vehicle bearing all these devices. I want to seize this opportunity to appreciate the good people of Kano to continue to furnish us with information, because as soon as we get these information, we will move immediately and act promptly.
In the meantime, the coordinator of the National Information Center, Mr. Michael Mary, has cautioned Nigerians over a rumor making the rounds about impending attacks on schools in the federal capital. At a joint press briefing in Abuja, Mr. Omeri gave the assurance that security operatives have been mobilized to ensure adequate security in schools. He called on Nigerians to remain vigilant and report all suspicious movements to the security agencies.
The center is aware of false alarm and rumors in form of text messages being circulated in the social media with a view to creating panic and anxiety among citizens, to the effect that some schools are being targeted for attack in the FCT. While we urge parents and school managements to be calm, cautious, and more vigilant, we wish to state that the security agencies are working round the clock and have taken measures to ensure that schools are safe and academic activities continue uninterrupted and unhindered. We therefore appeal and advise to citizens and members of the public generally to desist from spreading false alarm messages with a view to creating alarm, but to work closely with security agencies and make effective use of security alert phone numbers already made available to the public.
In part 2, after the break, police in Nasarawa State uncover plot by suspected kidnappers to set up a base in Lafia, the state capital. That's in a moment. Do join us again.